Don't use that. Why? That's mommy's. Use this if you want to smell like that tea.
You never had to question if you were a man, so why give your money to a corporation that doesn't know if their products are made for men? Try Jeremy Razor's hair and body products. Jeremy shampoo and conditioner are made with tea tree oil to naturally clean and restore your hair and scalp, argan oil to soften your hair and not your masculinity, and aloe vera to moisturize the hair and scalp. It's all paraben-free, sulfate-free, phthalate-free, and most importantly, 100% woke-free. Not to mention, it smells amazing. Go to jeremyrazors.com and use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. That's jeremyrazors.com. Use my special code BURNS15 to save 15% off. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to discuss several topics today. We have Fani Willis. We're going to give you an update on that. They're doing behind the closed door proceedings today. So we'll talk about that and what led to that. And also, we're going to talk about Chicago. Chicago is... what can we say about Chicago? Chicago is a town or a city that's going downhill. Is no longer going to be the greatest city besides New York. New York is already tanked. Chicago is a mess, and all because the past administrations that they've elected into office. Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson. He's continuing the mess. And I think Lori Lightfoot, she did kind of a better job than Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson, he don't know what the hell he's doing. Okay, so we'll be discussing Brandon Johnson. That's all on today on another episode of Business Talks.
Something like this. A little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this.
You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Let's see who we have in the building. We have King Pisces Nathan. Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. It's always great to see you, Dwayne Menzel. We have Coke Giles, if I'm saying that, McLeod of the Mingos. Long name. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. We have Corey Joseph in the building. Swan. Corey, you from Detroit. What up, though? Swan, we have in the building from Oklahoma City. We have Cece from Florida. Werner Welch from Wiley, Texas. And we have Phobo Miss. Phobo. I'm killing your name. I'm assuming Phobisimus from the blue state of Oregon. Okay, thank you for tuning in. And we have King Pisces. He's from Joliet, Illinois. Kennard, what is good? It's great to see you. Sue Pickett, good to see you from Louisiana. We have Kevin Walker from Pittsburgh. You guys, thank you for tuning in on this glorious Monday. The first topic I want to talk about, I didn't mention that in my intro. I do want to talk about Nikki Haley. We could call Nikki Haley the little engine that could, because Nikki Haley, she's not going to drop out the race until the last vote has been counted. She already said that. So I just want to give you guys an update. If you are in Michigan, our primary is tomorrow. I didn't know. I thought it was next week, but our primary is tomorrow. So if you're in Michigan, get out to those polls and vote. Whoever you're voting for, just exercise your right, okay? But Nikki Haley, she got mollywopped in South Carolina. And from what I'm seeing in the news report. Let me just share this with you. She got mollywopped, and she's saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna drop out this race until the last vote is counted." And it's like she's kind of doing herself a disservice. Save your embarrassment, okay? Save yourself from embarrassing yourself. Okay, it's you tried. You gave it an old college try, but you know, you need to move over and really let Donald Trump, lead, because that's who's going to be the primary, and save yourself some money. And your donors some money. But she's claiming that she's not going to drop out this race, and only because she thinks that since she won what it was New Hampshire, and she didn't win New Hampshire, she had the inkling of hope of, hey, I've received, or I garnered 50% or 40% of the vote, and Nikki, this is all a ploy. Because Democrats voted for you, but they don't really want to vote for you, Nikki. They just trying to, this is a tactic that another party will use, so they won't get the real elector, the person that will actually beat their people out of office. That's just a tactic. But that was a glimpse of hope for Nikki Haley. So she's saying that she's not going to drop out the race. And her donors, one of her big donors, pulled their money from her. And they're like, you don't have any chance. So Nevada, let's just see Nevada results. Nevada, she of course lost, and then she just lost South Carolina. She just lost South Carolina. So Donald Trump, of course, he gained 26 delegates, and Nikki Haley lost. Remember, I made a joke about it. She lost to other than Nikki Haley. It wasn't even Donald Trump. It was like they picked the box other than Nikki Haley, the anonymous person. Like, you know how you A, B, C, and D, none of them above. That's literally what they chose. And Donald Trump, he wasn't even on the ballot. So she lost that. And then we were looking at what is this, South Carolina. South Carolina, she lost again. Okay. Of course, Donald Trump gained 47 delegates, and Nikki Haley gained whopping 3 delegates. Very embarrassing. And this is her home state. This is the state that she was governor in. And they don't like her in her home. That should tell Nikki, hello, Nikki. Earth to Nikki. No one likes you. You're like cringe. And literally, that's why no one likes her, because she's very cringy. When she talks, she tries to identify with the brown people. Don't know why she's doing that. When you pull up her old pictures in school, she said she was teased because how brown she was discriminated against because they didn't know where to put her when she participated in pageants. They didn't have, I guess, an ethnicity for her to check off. It's like, okay. But someone sent me Nikki Haley's school picture. She grew around a bunch of Black folks. And it was, actually, she grew around a mixed group of people with some white people in the class and some Black people. Very diverse. She grew up around some diverse people. Only thing I could think of, Nikki, you probably was teased because you look white by the Black kids, if any. But she literally looked white. Anyway, so Nikki needs to drop out. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. I'm not going to rag on Nikki Haley because she's taking up too much of my time. Anyway, so we're going to go to our next story. If you guys want to get a good laugh, I have a video to show you about Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard is starting a podcast and I believe a YouTube channel. And this is, I'm going to make a meme out of this because I think it's a great video to get people to subscribe to my channel. And I thought it was hilarious because your girl, she is on the run right now. She's being investigated. That's the stories that we covered last week. Tiffany A. Henyard is being investigated by the FBI. And also they just had a special board meeting where the trustees called for, or they passed the ordinance to call for investigation from the FBI, the Attorney General, any type of 3-letter words that investigate people for high crimes and misdemeanors. That's who they called upon, and they're sending information to these agencies to launch an investigation over Tiffany Henyard spending and her strong arming the residents and business owners to donate to her campaign, or they're not going to get a business license. Anyway, so this is what Tiffany Henyard had to say. Let me just pull this up right quick. And like I said, it is quite hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. So I know you'll be in.
Mayor.
So let me pull this back.
Hey guys, it's Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard, the People's Mayor. So I heard you guys was looking for me. If you looking for Tiffany Henyard, press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. So, what you want me to talk about? This or that? This and that? Or me? Tiffany A. Henyard. You pick. Put your questions in the comments, and I'm gonna answer all questions. Just be respectful. If you disrespectful, I'm not gonna answer it. Because remember, I got the tea with the receipts. Matter of fact, if you want the tea, get it from me. Go tell that.
Are you going to press the subscribe button? It's funny. Tiffany Henyard, she talks with, she put R's in her.
Okay, big shot here.
R's next to her vowels. Have you guys noticed that? But I thought it was funny. So Tiffany Henyard, she's on the run, but she's dropping content, and she so wants to be an influencer. I'm assuming that's what she's trying to go in that direction. Maybe she's trying to persuade the public, oh, I'm a likable person. But again, this is another cringe moment for Tiffany Henyard. You're trying to be likable, but your past and your present things that you're doing, it's not likable. You're not a likable person. Maybe if we met Tiffany prior to her devious deeds and her illegal deeds, we probably would have liked her. Oh, she hood, she's fun to be around. That I could see that being a YouTube channel. And she's kind of ignorant too. So I could see that going somewhere. But now you're just politics. No, you stay out of politics. You're not that smart. You should have picked something else to do. Really, you should have. Anyway, just on a side note, Tiffany Henyard's, now this is just a rumor, allegedly. Her boyfriend, her married boyfriend, I don't know if his divorce is finalized, Kamal Woods. I hear he has another woman pregnant. And this is Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend, Kamal Woods. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about him, but he started dating Tiffany. I guess they was, I guess this was an affair, because Kamal Woods' wife probably didn't know about it. And he was still living with his wife while he was courting Tiffany Henyard, showing up to the hospital. There's some videos out there. But he has someone else pregnant. So Kamal, come on now. you just laying your seeds everywhere. So this is the type of man that she attracts. Anyway, that's enough about Tiffany A. Henyard. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, let me see who's in the chat and gets to some of you people. Noble Young, thanks for tuning in. Phobicism-ist. Oh, phobicism-ist. Okay. Tim Calvert is in the building. Getting noticed with Nikki. Good afternoon, sis. Salute to the chat. Chi-Town in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Dwayne Manziel says Haley is a deep state neocon. She is real part of the swamp. She is the swamp. Yeah. If you look back into Nikki Haley's, her political career, she filed for bankruptcy, and Vivek Ramaswamy revealed this. She filed for bankruptcy, and then next thing you know, she was serving on the board of Boeing, and she has these big defense contracts. She gets rich off of war. So that's why she's up there touting during the debate where she claims that she wants to garner the support for Israel and garner the support for Ukraine. Okay, so she is making money off of that. Anyway, King Pisces says, I'm sorry, but being a mayor, you're not supposed to speak that way. Well, this is Tiffany A. Henyard. She's speaking in that manner. I don't know if she garnered the support because she's down to earth and hood. That's why they supported her. But she did serve on the board of trustees for about 6 or 7 years before she was elected to mayor. So it's not like she didn't have any political experience. Anyway, and Dalton, it's a town about 20,000 people. Okay. And prior to her getting elected, she was very vocal about the ex-mayor and his spending habits and not letting it be known where this money was coming from. So she was very vocal, and she tricked the people because everybody thought she was for the people because she always gave this mayor pushback, the ex-mayor. And coming to find out, all she did was took his trick out of his toolbox and used it on to the 100th power. She's just gone buck wild. Okay, she's used a Dalton bank as her own personal bank. Okay, anyway. And we have Barry Hayes from St. Louis. Thank you for tuning in. So let's talk about Fani Willis before we get to Chicago. Fani Willis, okay, you guys, I'm sorry if you was on our stream on Friday. It ended abruptly. It wasn't my kids messing with my thing. I'm trying to be energy conservative and I didn't turn on my power strip and my battery ran down. And you know how you run out of gas and you didn't know when you run out of gas? Only women would know these things. Hey, did you check this is when the dial was not digital. Did you check the gas meter? Yeah, I checked the gas meter and lo and behold, you're out of gas. Well, that's what happened to my camera. My battery ran out of gas. So anyway, on Friday, we were talking about the text messages and geospatial location. Trump team hired an investigator, and they use this type of technology if they want to track somebody's location. Okay, so we would never probably see the text messages because of they are attorneys, and and they already said, hey, we may not see text messages, but we can track their location. So Trump's investigator tracked Nathan Wade's phone, and they put it in 1,000 to 2,000 feet of Fani Willis' home. And Nathan Wade on the defense or on the stand, he claimed that he only visited Fani Willis at this condo less than 10 times. This is what he claimed. And coming to find out, because they tracked this location, he actually visited Fani at least 35. And some of the times, and we went through this whole document, some of the times this investigator pinpointed that he was not moving. So he was at this location, Fani Willis location, overnight. These was 2 to 3 times that they figured out, hey, he spent the night. And then once he traveled back to his home, because they were able to track his location, it pinged at his home. He texted Fani, hey, baby, I made it in. Who in the right mind? And I had some people, this is how crazy people are today. This is how crazy people are today. I had people in the comments, mainly women. Oh, I have my coworker would come and, visit my house, and nothing ever happened. Okay, how many times? Is it 35 times? 35 times over a year? What kind of coworker are you? Like they come over and we will have dinner at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, come on. This is how naive some of these people are. And not to say, I had a lady, she's always in the chat, and she said she was unsubscribing to me, because of, hey, we need to take the politics out of it. Look at this situation logically. I'm working for you and I'm visiting your house 35 times, another of an opposite sex. That means I'm trying to get some booty. Ladies, if a man is coming over your house a lot, frequently, you could say, oh, he's just my friend. No, he wants ass. Oh, he's just he wants some ass, ladies. Come on. Use your head. A man is not going to drive. He lives on the other side of town. He's not going to drive over to your location just to hang out. No, he wants some poo nanny. Okay. So, like I said, take the politics out, use common sense. So coming to find out, Nathan Wade lied on the stand. That's basically what it is. They didn't ask Fani Willis how many times Nathan Wade came over. They just asked him, did Nathan Wade come over? But she said, she claimed, oh, it wasn't that much. So also in this document, so Fani Willis lied. So also what was revealed in the document, the text messages, 12,000 times, 12,000 text messages that they text each other. And I'm married. I'm married to a man, and we've been together for 15 years. And if you count off and on, because we dated prior to me going to college. So if you count that, probably 16 years, or 17 years, we literally known each other. Literally, I could go in my phone and I could see texts and stuff from my husband. We're not texting. It's not 12,000 times. What the hell are you talking about? 12,000 times. Even they said they talk to each other. Let me just pull up this. Okay, let me share this with you. Over 11-month period, 2,000 voice calls. Now, me and my husband, like I said, we have children together. We have to coordinate schedules, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure we didn't talk to each other 2,000 times voice calls. Voice calls. I could pull my text up. I'm pretty sure we probably talk 2 to 3 times out of the day. That will be what, 300 or 3 times 30. What's that? 90 calls over a month. And we're married and we have children together. But no, they're saying Wade and Willis made over 2,000 voice calls with each other and exchanged just under 12,000 interactions over an 11-month period in 2021. Why are you doing that? This is prior to Nathan Wade being hired. So you're saying to me, y'all wasn't bumping uglies, doing a dirty flamingo? Come on now, people. Let's get realistic. Let's come back to reality. I said take the politics out of it. Come back to reality. Okay, who cares if you hate Trump? Come back to reality. They not bumping uglies. Come on now, put it in chat and let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. This is just common sense. A man is not going to travel to your house 35 times unless he wants some booty, okay? He wants some nana. He's not going to travel. He live way over here and you live way over there. He not traveling. He not doing that unless he's interested in you, ladies. Okay, so are we just like in la la land? But like I said, if you go to some of these comments in that last stream, it's just in general on my Fani Willis whatever videos, you'll see those type of comments. Well, I had a man that came to my house and he was my coworker and he did, like, are you effing stupid? Come on now. Ladies, let's not act like we ain't doing like Sandy Rodriguez doing the cha-cha. Like, let's not act like Fani and Nathan Wade is not doing the cha-cha, because that's what's going on. Okay, come on now. Let's get back to reality. And Swan, I wonder what the tattoo was too, because that's another thing. Oh, I spent $150 on a tattoo. Maybe it was a heart with F and W forever. I don't know. You 52 getting tattoos? Come on now. Like, come on. I mean, I could see if you already have them, and no shade, because I could see if you already have them and you've been getting them all your life. But you're supposed to be the illustrious, sophisticated, no, we don't take BS from anybody, Fani Willis, and you getting tattoos. Okay, so what are we doing? To me, she just a thug. Some hood rat chick just happened to have a law degree, just like the other prosecutor. She's not even a prosecutor. She was a defense attorney. They got arrested. The young white girl, she wanted to be all hood and down, and her ass got caught up on some gang related charges because she trying to get her clients, so she could win, get her clients to throw away evidence. Okay, so this is Atlanta is corrupt. I'm assuming full of corruption, and they have a big problem. And Fani Willis, you guys, let me know. Do you think Fani Willis need to step down? Let me know. Do you think Fani Willis needs to step down? Let me see if I could pull that up on here. Okay, and I just want to share this with you. This is about the closed door proceedings that they're doing today.
The effort to remove Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade from the Georgia 2020 election interference case will pick back up today. Ariana Manish joining us live this morning with the latest on this case here. Good morning, Ariana.
Good morning, Aisha. Judge Scott McAfee, he will meet behind closed doors with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's former attorney, Terrence Bradley. Now, this will happen behind closed doors, so we won't see the firing and compelling testimony that we saw at the initial hearing. And this is all as defense attorneys are questioning when Nathan Wade and Fani Willis started dating. Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade's former attorney Terrence Bradley will meet privately with Judge McAfee as defendants in the election interference case continue their quest to get DA Fani Willis and Wade disqualified for having an alleged relationship before Wade's appointment to the case. Attorneys for the defense believe Bradley can prove Willis and Wade's romantic relationship began earlier than what Wade and Willis testified. Bradley took the stand during the initial hearing but invoked attorney-client privilege and said he cannot speak to Wade's relationship without putting his law license at risk.
Advised by the bar that Rule 1.6 of confidentiality applies and that I cannot reveal anything that I saw or learned.
Wade attempted to block additional questioning, arguing private questioning by Judge McAfee may unlawfully compel Bradley to break attorney-client privilege. The timeline of Wade and Willis's relationship has been the main point of focus for defense attorneys. While Wade and Willis insist they started dating in 2022, lawyers representing former President Donald Trump claim new cell phone evidence can prove otherwise. Attorneys say those records reveal at least 35 occasions in 2021 when Wade's phone connected to cell phone towers near Willis's condo in Hapeville for extended periods of time. In court, Wade says any cell phone records suggesting he was in Hapeville would be wrong, and that his visits to Willis's condo were for business. And the DA's office says the records do not prove anything relevant and should not be considered as evidence.
Well, it is considered as evidence. And you know what? That Bradley guy, I think his name is Terrence Bradley, they tried to stop. Nathan Wade tried to put an injunction to hinder or stop his ex-lawyer from testifying. But, they're doing it didn't succeed. They're doing a closed door proceedings. Like to give a shout out. We have a super chat. I love my ad block. Thank you for the $5. I heard the tattoo was a MAGA tattoo. It was a MAGA tattoo. Yeah. Yeah, well, I doubt that, but that would be so hilarious, wouldn't it? We also have another super chat. Thank you for the $2. Juan Solo ATL. She probably got a Bible scripture on her thigh. You guys are killing me. Yeah, that would be hilarious. The Bible scripture, another super chat. From ad. I love my ad block. Thou should not commit adultery. Hey, that's fitting of her. How about close your legs? How about don't pay for the ding dong if you trying to hire? This is the biggest case of your life, and you actually paid somebody that was inexperienced because y'all smashing each other. That's the biggest, most expensive booty call ever. You got to be a damn fool. Anyway, I wanted to highlight Kevin Walker's chat. I have platonic female friends and never been to their house. If I go over their house, over a female house 35 times, trust and believe I was trying to smash. Hello. That's in a man's nature. I'm not going to knock you for that. But I think women need to realize, and not all women, because all women are not silly. But some of these silly women is talking about, oh, he's just my friend. He's just coming over to visit me. No, he's coming over to give you a vaginal exam. Come on now. He's coming over to play doctor. Okay. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, I don't want to get too vulgar with you guys. It says her dress VF show woman's front zipper tie waist slim work business office bodycon pencil dress Amazon. So yeah, that was, when I was talking about it not yesterday, but Friday, some of the people, I pulled up, I forget what the guys' names were, but I pulled up like, their, I guess, behavior analysis. And one of the guys said he found the dress and she had her dress on backwards. It didn't look like it was on backwards. I mean, kind of because of the clamps that was in the front, but it could have been some women, I mean, some dresses are made to zip up in the front. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, we're not going to spend too much time on Fani Willis because we're going to talk about Fani Willis for the rest of the week, literally, because we're trying to see what direction Judge McAfee is going. So I know he's probably going to make some type of decision, probably after he hears both arguments from the defense and the prosecutors. So we'll see what direction they're going with that. Anyway, we're going to get to your favorite mayor. Your favorite mayor. Now, this was called, let me see if this is it. This was called on the mic prior to the board meeting being, or the council meeting in Chicago. And they were just waiting for the stream to start. And I'm assuming this is one of the council members, aldermen, that were saying this. Just pull it up. And basically, in short, they were calling in short, they were calling America or Chicago being a junk country, a junk city because of the migrants. Okay, so let me share this tab with you.
Migrates all on its own. People are fanning out all over the country. A Chicago City Council meeting that's going on right now, in fact, is all over massive illegal immigrant crisis in that sanctuary city. People who live there as American citizens are furious over the millions of dollars in resources going to the illegals, who so many communities there are in need. They need those resources. The video is going to look a little strange because we just took this. It's going on right now. So it's a Zoom, and you'll see the countdown a little bit. But just listen to the words.
That's what's up. That's what has happened in the United States right now. All this asylum-seeking lie, all this about refugees. No. What's happening is they're emptying out the dregs of their jails into the United States, into our communities. They're junking up our country. And yeah, we feel some kind of way about it because it's our country. It's our country. We're going to get our city back. We're going to stand for our people. We're going to get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there.
Not another dollar for the illegals. If the crisis is so bad, the city council members who are so concerned should donate their salaries to the cause like a real public servant should.
And again, it looked a little strange on screen because when we caught that a few moments ago, we had to show that to you. I mean, it gives me chills. They're junking up our country, and it's our country, Jason.
Well, wait, let's get it straight. It is our country. They are illegal. Dwayne Manziel said it correct. They are illegal aliens, not migrants, illegal aliens. You're hearing reports of illegal aliens going to these migrant or asylum seeker, or what is it, safe haven cities, getting arrested over and over again. They never deport them. They're allowing them to stay. Hey, they're doing a crime and they're allowing them to stay here. They're not seeking asylum. They're not coming from a war-torn country. They're not looking for a better way of life. They're coming over here to take advantage of you and the people that live here, the American citizens. That's why they're over here. And I'm not trying to say all of them. All of them that, you know, some, we could say illegal aliens that came over here legally, they okay, go through the proper channels and cross our borders legal. But they haven't been doing that. So your mayor, Brandon Johnson. So this is what happened in the meeting, or prior to the meeting, before they cut the stream on. Okay. But Mayor Brandon Johnson. Now this is a week old, you guys. You gotta forgive me. I'm just reporting this because of the whole Fani Willis stuff that we've been immersed in. Mayor Brandon Johnson announces Chicago will cancel ShotSpotter deal designed to combat crime. I guess he doesn't want to combat crime. I guess he doesn't want to do that. And let me just read some of this before I play this video. The city of Chicago would not be renewing its contract with gunshot detection technology ShotSpotter after this summer, city officials announced Tuesday. A Chicago Mayor Johnson's office released a statement Tuesday morning saying its multi-million-dollar contract with SoundThinking, which owns the ShotSpotter technology, will be extended through September 22, but it will end after that. This decision comes as the city was facing a Friday deadline for its $49 million contract with ShotSpotter, which operates a new network of acoustics and sensors to alert police of gunfire. I would like to know, does this technology help? Now, in Mayor Brandon Johnson's defense, is it curtailing or is it leading to arrests of individuals? We don't know. We have to see when they signed up for ShotSpotter versus prior, how many arrests were made. But if you're planning to defund the police and you don't have enough officers or detectives out there to make the arrest and prosecute the crime, okay, yeah, you're investing in some technology, but you need to invest in the whole system to say, hey, we are really taking the charge and trying to stop crime. Anyway, so, and it says, moving forward, City of Chicago would deploy its resources on the most effective strategy and tactics proven to accelerate the current downward trend in violent crime. I just read a report and I will pull it up for you. The trend is not going down. It's going up. Over the weekend, and it's cold outside. Over the weekend, they had 21 people that were shot over the weekend, just in Chicago alone. And 4 of those victims passed away. Now, this is going to talk about not only the crime, but they're talking about crime with immigrants. They are actually, like, if you're an illegal alien, you come off this bus, they're giving you a cell phone. Criminal enterprises are actually recruiting these illegal aliens and showing them, hey, mapping it out for them. Hey, you need to go to the suburbs, and this is the things that you need to steal. And I guess they're giving them a cut. or what they steal or attack. There's been several reports that people have been victims of assaults, meaning attacked by illegal aliens. A man was choked over the weekend. This is in Chicago. And I guess they was trying to rob him, but they choked him. Anyway, so they're actually bringing people into their criminal enterprise. And these people are illegal aliens, basically. So, this is Fox News, and they're saying Chicago sees a 38% rise in crime under the new mayor, Brandon Johnson.
Wrong. And it doesn't help having a far-left activist lead the charge. Let's look at the numbers as you're seeing right now. A nearly 40% increase in crime year over year, May to May. It's been a lot of talk, no action thus far from Mayor Brandon Johnson. Remember, he wanted this job. And maybe the most troubling stat, youth homicides more than doubled during Johnson's first month in office, with the bloodiest Memorial Day weekend in the city has seen in 7 years. 53 shot, 12 killed. So what does the mayor have to say about this? It can be summed up in 4 words. Stop talking about us. Our next guest pushing for the opposite. He lived on a Chicago roof for nearly a year to highlight violence gripping his once great city. Project Hood founder and executive director Corey Brooks joins us now. Pastor, you have a new mayor who wants to be left alone. Is that the right approach?
Well, I've been saying ever since the Rahm Emanuel administration, even through the Lightfoot administration, and even now with Mayor Johnson, that the right approach to addressing the violence is that we need to talk about it. It needs to be discussed. It's nothing that we should be saying that it's in our house and let's just keep it between us. No, we need to discuss it. Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world, and so the issue of violence is very important. What we need to do is to make sure that we have a comprehensive plan that covers the whole city. We need to make sure that that plan is clear and that we give reports about what's going on from day to day. And then the last thing, we need to make sure there's a lot of collaboration.
Corey, one of the big things is empowering police officers, let them know they matter, and getting a number back on the streets. Word was if he won, a lot were going to resign. What is the actual ramifications? Have many put down their badge?
I think we need to support the police department in Chicago. They work very hard to make sure that the city is safe as possible. They're working very hard to make sure that we turn things around. We have not seen, I don't believe, a lot of police who have resigned from their duties, and I'm thankful for that. I hope and pray that we're going to continue to add and support and not take away from their budget, not defund them. What we need to do is make sure that they're funded in every way, make sure they're supported in every way, and make sure that they're given everything that they need to make sure that our city becomes a safe and sound city.
Sometimes people have.
Before he continue on that, the ShotSpotter or whatever technology that they have. Okay, you're saying that we're trying to save money. I bet you anything.
So that's how they're so productive.
Let me just.
They use fiber.
I bet anything. That $45 million or $49 million that they don't want to spend on this type of technology to help police officers detect or pin the location where, these gunfire is going off at, I'm pretty sure they're going to try to invest that into the migrant crisis. Just over last week, Governor Pritzker, he decided that he's going to invest $250 million in Chicago for the migrant crisis. And they're giving homelessness $53. And they said they're going to dedicate $53 million to the Black homeless. But I played the wrong clip, you guys. This is the actual clip I wanted to play you. The Chicago criminal organization recruited migrants for crime sprees, expert says.
Migrant surge at the border growing at a skyrocketing pace under President Biden, and he insists he's not the one to blame. Watch.
Every day between now and November, the American people are going to know that the only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends. It's time for Republicans in the Congress to show a little courage, to show a little spine, that you work for them, not for anyone else. I know who I work for. I work for the American people.
Yeah, not us. But it seems the only work getting done is by criminals. As experts warn, migrants are being recruited for crime sprees, particularly in suburban Chicago areas. Here with more is retired Riverside, Illinois Police Chief Tom Weitzel. Sir, thanks so much for joining the program. So we're looking at some of these crime stats. Robbery is up 23%, car theft is up 37%, and theft is up 3%. This seems like a huge problem, right?
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's worked its way from the city of Chicago out to the suburbs. You know, what's really happening is when the migrants are landing at the designated landing zone in Chicago, when they step off the bus, or in some cases the plane, they're given phones and they're being recruited, some of them, to go out to the suburban malls and the suburban shopping areas and entertainment zones to commit crimes. And they're being provided transportation, mapping, because imagine you get off the bus and you wouldn't know where Oak Brook, Illinois is, or Lombard, Illinois, or North Riverside, Illinois, which are communities that have major malls. You would have no idea it even exists. So they're being coached on how to do this.
Well, it's a whole criminal enterprise taking place. We're looking at the latest numbers of the migrant crisis in Chicago. It's been over 35,000 illegal migrants to arrive since August of 2022, and $156 million spent since October of 22. Sir, I mean, you've been in law enforcement for a long time. What's been the reaction of the law enforcement community? Because you guys are going to have to police these areas now.
Well, they should have been policing the areas now, then, or before the migrants. It's not like Chicago is free of crime. And we just watched a video where Chicago is, you know, in some areas that don't even have migrants, they're full of crime. Anywho, we want to give a shout out for Cora McCarver. She is a member now. Thank you, Cora, for your continued support. Yeah, so they're going to have to actually probably hire some more police to police some of the areas, and maybe he was referring to some of the suburbs where the crime is low. But I mean, what do you say about this? You have your own residents saying, "Hey, close the border." Your own citizen says, "Close the border. This is what's going on," and you're still taking no action. You're still sitting on your hands. And finally, I guess and this is Joe Biden. He decided, oh, I'll give some money to fund the border, to build the wall. You know, he did that a couple of months ago because election time is coming. But for 3 years, you sat on your hands, and still, hey, it takes time to get bids to build or continue to build the wall or whatever. Maybe you'll go back to some of the same contractors that started the wall. It still takes time to do that. What are you doing about the administrative process? What are you doing to actually patrol the border where illegal aliens is actually infiltrating the border? They're not actually crossing in at the border. They're going under, around, in tunnels. What are you doing about that? And then you got these asylum seekers, quote unquote, or safe haven cities where they're allowed, and we talked about this, safe haven cities. Reason why they're safe haven and reason why migrants or illegal aliens go there is because, or sanctuary, they call it sanctuary cities, is because they stop them or ICE from coming in to detain these individuals that are committing crimes. It's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in many of the cases, it's why bother, because the officers are arresting the same individuals 5 and 6 times a month twice a week because they're never held in custody unless there's some aggravating circumstance. They're being released immediately, and this is how it goes down. The migrants, they commit a theft. They never surrender. There's either foot pursuits or car pursuits, which obviously are very dangerous. And when the police catch up with them, you can read any report that they're fighting with the police on every instance. They're going in, being booked, and being released right away back into the public.
Yeah, because what do they got to lose? What do they have to lose? You guys aren't able to work with ICE. I mean, what's your comment on that as well? Because of these sanctuary policies, these cities and states, law enforcement are not able to call ICE to come pick these guys up and deport them.
No, and in Chicago and the suburbs state of Illinois, there's directives for us not to enter the databases for ICE and other federal organizations. So we're not able to check the status of those migrants through the computer system.
By the
And that's ridiculous. These are the policies that we really need to be checking into before we elect an individual. Do you believe that Chicago, and I'm not in Chicago or wherever, like in Michigan.
So that's how they're so productive. They use fire.
Are you a reporter or supporter of asylum seekers, sanctuary cities? Because if they are, do they really have you in mind as a resident of your city, state, or federal government? Do they have in mind? Do they take you as an American citizen that pay your taxes, that's been here since birth, your family been here since birth? They all worked. They all paid taxes. Generations. And even if you came over here legally and you have your American citizenship, do they have you in mind? With these sanctuary cities, if you're telling me a person can commit a crime and there's no repercussions, you should be outraged on that. Oh, we can't look them up because we're a sanctuary city, so we just should deal with them. Oh well, hopefully you won't be the next victim. So we really need to think about who we have in office and what they actually support. What type of policies are they supporting? What are they standing for? Mayor Brandon Johnson, this is Chicago. This is Chicago and the suburbs of Chicago. Mayor Brandon Johnson, I just want to say one thing about him. Okay, so Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson abruptly ends meeting with newspaper after refusing to speak on the record. Okay, he had a scheduled meeting with, I believe, Chicago. Let me just pull up the news. Chicago Sun Times, and this was a Zoom meeting. Okay, and it says Chicago Sun Times published a blistering report Tuesday about the Democrats' icy relationship with the City Hall press corps, insisting any honeymoon he may have had with the media since taking office last year is over. I guess because they're mad. He's always mad that they asked him a question and they push back on him. And so he's mad that they don't ask him the right question. Well, you're the mayor. They're supposed to, and they're the media. They're supposed to ask these tough questions and ask what your readers or what their readers want to know. Like, where are you going with this? Your whole leadership is in disarray. Do you actually know what you're doing, Mayor? And he doesn't. I don't know why my oh crap. Keep on jumping around. Anyway. So
more than 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, like You Simply Season. It says
The City Hall press corps has turned hostile, openly frustrated with the mayor, who is seldom accessible and evasive when he does take questions. Newspaper editorials are critical and at times disdainful, while portraying Johnson as in over his head. He is. I bet you if we look into if we look into where they're supposed to have been building this temporary tent for the migrants, he probably still haven't did anything with that. They probably still haven't found the site for it. They haven't broke ground, any of that. But where's the money going to? What are you doing with the money? Anyway, somebody needs to call for investigation into him. What is he spending his money on? Okay, so the Sun-Times then revealed that Johnson backed out the scheduled meeting with the paper's editorial board, which was supposed to be an apparent effort to turn things around with his relations to the press. But Monday meetings ended abruptly after Johnson and board members had introduced themselves, when the press secretary, Ronnie Reese, insisted that the entire session be off record. You are a public service member. This is not the court. We are trying to relay information to the public. And you're saying off record? We're a newspaper. We report the news, and you want us to go off record. So why are we here? Why even talk to the news people if you want to be off record? So it never happened. They said he never spoke. And of course, they said Lorraine Forte, she refused to accept the terms because she never heard of it. We never did this before. You're not going to talk to the newspaper and we're going off record. No, we're not doing that. And so the session ended. It says we look forward to rescheduling a meeting with Mayor Johnson soon, discussing his plans to Chicago on the record. That's what Lorraine Forte stated. And she's an editor of the Sun-Times. Okay. And this is what I was saying about before I get off. This is what I was telling you about the $250 million Illinois is giving Chicago to help with the illegal immigrants in Chicago. Illegal immigrants in Chicago. 182 million. $252 million to house, feed, provide other service to illegal immigrants arriving in Chicago this year. And that was from Governor Pritzker. Has alleged around 182 million to Cook County and 70 million more for a joint funding plan to ensure migrants sent to Chicago from Texas border shelter will have access to a wraparound services and healthcare. And you're probably like maybe a veteran if you're out there listening. Veteran, you probably know some people homeless. You probably know some people that's struggling with drugs. How come you don't invest any of that money to help your veterans out? We got a lot of homeless men out there. Help your veterans out. We got a lot of homeless veterans out there. Help them out. We have a lot of elderly people that's making ends meet that can't afford medication. Help them out. We got a lot of people that's hungry. Help them out. and then rent is unaffordable. Why can't you give stipend to make up? You know, you got working people that got to work 2 to 3 jobs just to pay rent. Why don't you help them out? But instead, you think the answer is to give $250 million to one city to help with the migrant crisis. One city, $250 million.
The immigrants can come into this country and get a stipend, link, a free room and board, free child care, and some of them are getting Social Security.
They shouldn't even be allowed in our neighborhood.
Angry people in Chicago as the migrant crisis is draining city resources, and moderate Democrats there are blaming progressives. They say Americans in need are the ones bearing the cost. Zerlina Smith Members is a victim services activist in Chicago. She's also running for the Cook County Board of Commissioners, so she's willing to step up to try to do something. Let me just show you here that the migrants shipped from Texas via bus or airplane to Chicago in the past year and a half, 35,393, so almost 36,000 people. And you have seen firsthand how it's having an effect?
Of course, they're in my community. I'm an Austin resident. They had them housed at our police station. When they decided to relocate them from our police station, which was the 15th district, they decided to start giving out more free housing expenses by bamboozling homeowners or commercial owners to let them move into their properties for a stipend. And once that stipend ran out, they're stuck with illegal immigrants running through our community that are living free, where we have a mass housing issue when it comes to Chicagoans.
The other thing I read that you said is that you don't blame Governor Abbott. Why?
No, I don't. I don't blame him because he didn't ask for this problem. I commend him for what he's doing. He's dealt with it for long enough, and I do believe that if sanctuary cities want to be welcoming, they should have a plan in place. The city of Chicago nor New York had a real plan, and they got what they had been asking for years.
And as I recall, there was a city council meeting where there was a proposal to withdraw and end the sanctuary city designation. That failed. Do you think that it could possibly come up again?
I doubt it because you don't have the mayor of the city of Chicago running the 5th floor. You have CTU, our Chicago's teacher union, and their progressive elected individuals sitting in our city council who are really not even from here or live in these communities that these migrants are being housed or shipped to.
You also said that the immigration crisis is going to flip the state of Illinois purple. Do you think there are enough people that you're talking to and in your community that are willing to not vote for Democrats this time around?
Of course. In my community, most of our people didn't even vote to elect this current mayor. And the sad part about it is I'm running for his last seat that he held before becoming mayor, which is the 1st District Cook County Commissioner seat, and those people didn't even vote for him. The rhetoric is that they want to tell us as Chicagoans that we are being taken care of. 1 to 4 children, the Crane magazine just posted that black children and brown children who are born in the city of Chicago are going to bed hungry. But yet and still they find money to feed illegals. They want to make it seem as though they're just undocumented. These people are fleeing their country and coming to our country and taking the resources. If my 14-year-old knows that this is a problem and she wants to move to Texas because they don't want them, then it's a real problem when the children are noticing that the Democrats have failed them and my 14-year-old wants to move to a Republican-led state.
Wow. Governor Abbott will probably welcome you with open arms. I just want to show you this. Call for 2 here is $638 million. That's the amount of money that the Illinois state has committed to taking care of migrants, and $138 million has been spent since October of 2022. My last question for you is, do you believe that there is any help coming from the Biden administration to help Chicago in this situation?
Well, if our mayor and CTU continue to bojingle around national issues instead of city issues or state issues, I believe that there is no help coming. But because the DNC is coming here, we're going to make sure that we protest and shut it down. So any more money spent is a true problem with not just the black community, but the brown. And we are asking to defund the migrant that are coming to the city and the state of Illinois. We want to defund them. So whatever they do, that's their problem, but we don't want it anymore.
Zerlina Smith Members, stay in touch.
And she actually, she is absolutely right. We don't want him here. I'm pretty sure no state wants him. No states want them. We don't want to be overrun with illegal immigrants and crime. We don't want it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. You guys, thank you for tuning in once again. I want you guys to, since you're online, make sure you follow my other channel. It's Chawanne Burns 2.0. Let me just share with you. This is my other channel. I'm trying to get it monetized. In this particular channel, I talk mainly politics. I stream on both of these channels. So if you get one thing on here, you'll get it on this other channel. But I post different clips on this channel, and it's straight politics. The channel that you're viewing me from, if you're viewing me from my main channel, Chawanne Burns, I also do talk about business and credit. Okay, so if you're trying to boost up your business, get a plan together, boost up your business credit or your personal credit, you know, this is the channel for you, because I do have several videos in regards to that subject or topic. Anywho, you guys, like I said, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate every single last one of you. And that was it for our live stream. So tomorrow we are going to talk about Fani Willis again. And then there's another thing that I want to talk about in Michigan. Michigan and is actually Detroit. I was trying to avoid talking about it because I help people out with grants. And I just put a application in for a grant, and I can't remember if I use as my contact information for the grant, so that's why I was trying to avoid it. So, but I probably will make some people mad. But anyway, I'm going to dibble and dabble on the topic, and it's specifically about Detroit and their spending. Detroit and their spending, and you know, corruption is always going to be here. We're going to talk about it. I think I would be doing a disservice and being fake if I don't talk about my home city, right? So that's why I'm deciding to talk about it. Anyway, so stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to talk about Detroit and Fani Willis. All right, so I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.